I'm Joan Kelley Walker. Join me as we take a stroll down the Fash Ave. Joining me today is Cheryl Gushue, who is the Editor-in-Chief of Canadian Hairdresser magazine. Welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you so much, Joan.
So let's jump right into it. I know that you are making big changes in Canadian Hairdresser magazine. What are you trying to implement?
Well, being a fashion designer background myself, I find it's very important to promote Canadian fashion. So it's important for me, in being a Canadian magazine, to put fashion designers that are Canadian on our cover in our editorial spreads. So that's what we've done so far on our first issue. We have one issue out and the second one is happening right now. So we actually have another Canadian designer for the cover featured.
Wow. So how has it been received? Are hairdressers looking at this magazine thinking, why am I looking at a fashion designer instead of another hairdresser?
Well, it's certainly still like a beauty shoot. So, you know, we need to incorporate fashion into the beauty world. They go together. And sometimes I feel like the hair world and the fashion world are kind of two different things, and I really want to marry those two. You know, we come from an editorial background and we need to have the full picture. So that's like hair and makeup and beauty, and it's all to do with the clothes as well, right? Like that's really a big part of creating a fashion shoot. And creating a look.
Yes. And that the hair is one element of that. Now, I was just flipping through a book that I have, a coffee table book for Fashion Cares, and there's a beautiful picture of you. You look like you're 15 years old.
I probably was.
You probably were, dancing away. And you know, I love that picture of you, but I also love what it represents, that you've been in this business for a long time. And there's a lot of people like you, like Jeannie Becker, Glenn Baxter, like people that have been in the business for a long time. Do you think there's a learning that you've accumulated over the past couple of decades that you want to share with the people that are new to the industry? And what would that be?
Oh, wow, there's so much in that question. Definitely I feel like fashion has changed over the years. Like you're referring to back in the day when I used to design for Fashion Cares.
So what year was that?
I want to say like 2000, early 2000s. We created just one look for the show. I probably did it for about 6 years. And that was like, it was such a great thing for Canada. You know, it really put us on the map. And, you know, with MAC and the AIDS Foundation, it was just such a great thing to do to really elevate the Canadian industry and showcase so many designers. I think there was something like 65 designers.
Wow.
you know, by the time I was sort of done my 6 years there. And then they took it on a tour across Canada, which was amazing. So I do miss that show because it was a spectacle. It was like theatrics meets fashion. So are we missing something like that in the industry right now? I think so. I mean, it was just something that you had to go to see. If you're part of the fashion industry, it was a definite, like, you must go to this show. So yeah, I mean, things have changed so much from that stage till now. I mean, with social media and our ability to market differently, it's changed the way we can get the word out there and get our product out there, definitely.
So Fashion Cares was like the foundation, and there's no longer Fashion Cares. Instead, now we have a lot of different fashion weeks. Do you think that's beneficial to the industry, having all these different fashion weeks, or do you think people need to start to collaborate more?
Well, we have 3 different fashion weeks that all sort of suit a different market, I think. With that's, you know, that one is just about like really avant-garde, new designers, do something crazy and fun, kind of a Fashion Cares sort of way. And with Toronto Men's and Women's Fashion Week, you know, that obviously started in the men's sector, and then we've got, you know, the other regular Fashion Week coming back again too, which has a different format, and they're all completely different formats. So I can see them in different directions. Would it be great to have them all together? Maybe a fashion week that combines all 3 of these events within a week or within 2 weeks might be a good idea, because they do kind of speak to different sectors, I believe.
I want to talk about sponsorship. You were Makeup Artist of the Year in 2015, which is amazing. There's a lot of brands in skincare and makeup, I'm sure you've worked with all of them, and in hair products that have been known to to sponsor a lot of the different fashion weeks, and everybody's vying for the same sponsorship dollars. Do you think there's enough dollars to go around? And some companies now, they'll sponsor, but they don't want their name out there. Why do you think that is?
Well, I would think that if a company is going to sponsor any kind of event or project, that they do want their name on there, because that's the whole point, is the exposure. The other reasons why a manufacturer would sponsor any kind of event would be because they want to reach that market. And of course, in the beauty world, they want to reach the fashion people, they want to reach the beauty people, they want to reach the hair industry. So, you know, yeah, the companies have a lot of marketing dollars, but their marketing dollars have now kind of diverted into influencers as well. So the marketing dollars have been cut a little bit because of that. So yeah, it takes time to develop relationships with these brands, and there needs to be definite synergy between whatever that market is, whether it's Tom or Canadian Hairdresser. It obviously has to work in their marketing plans.
I feel like things are changing kind of at warp speed. How do you think things are evolving right now, and where do you think they're going to land?
Well, like I said earlier, it's just about how you market your brand now is a whole different ball game. You know, back in the day when we had our Cascada Blue swimwear brand,
social media was
barely there.
I don't think I even
Instagram
had
was
Facebook
there.
or Instagram at that point. For sure, no Instagram.
No, there was no Instagram, and now it's just about getting your name out almost first, and then you create your brand, right? It's kind of like an opposite direction. I think it's really important to create a persona and a lifestyle with your brand. I think that's what people really relate to, but definitely that social media side and AR and AI digital side of things are really changing things, where you can, you know, not really go in a change room, but just put your body measurements in and try things on. You know, online shopping is taking over the brick and mortar. You know, I saw that when I worked at Saks, and I was a personal shopper there too, and you know, sometimes people will come into the store to try things on, but then go home and try and find it on the internet cheaper somewhere else. So there's been so much change because of technology. Great for the consumer, but we have to learn how to advance with that change, and how we can harness that and use that to our advantage.
So what advice would you have then for young designers in the fashion world? How do they get started?
Well, there's a lot of research and development. I think do your homework. In Canada, it's, you know, our resources are limited. You know, from what it used to be back in the day, our Spadina Fashion Ave is now just a really cool monument with buttons on the corner, because there's no manufacturing happening there anymore. So really doing your research, and maybe mentoring with somebody, like if you want to get into a specific kind of business like swimwear, mentor with a swimwear designer. Go work with them, go learn the ropes from them, learn from their mistakes first, and get contacts, because starting from scratch is not an easy thing.
Yes, as we learned.
Yeah.
But we did pretty good. I mean, that brand was really well received. People still ask me about it, and I still see people wearing it all the time.
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
We should be patting ourselves on the back.
Well, maybe we'll bring it back one day.
Maybe, that would be awesome. So thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thanks so much, too.